tuning into another episode of the TJJ Show, and as long as you're in my presence, you'll be guided and protected at all times. I'm coming through with another video, and this is going to be a very serious topic I'm going to get into on this fine Wednesday evening. Controlling parents is a very, very bad thing for all kids, and all kids that are growing up into young adults. It is a very, very toxic, bad thing to put on your own kids, being controlling. There is a big, 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 big difference between being controlling and being strict. All parents must be somewhat strict with their kids to teach them from right and wrong. Understand this. But being controlling is being toxic. You're basically trying to control every single outcome out of your kid's life. You are not letting them live. You have to let your kids live their life too, while teaching them right from wrong, but you cannot control them, if that makes sense. Controlling parents is another form of narcissism, in my opinion. It just is. And what you're doing to your kid is you're teaching them to grow up to also be a controlling type of person. I know friends I've had in the past that have had very controlling, abusive parents, and they behave the exact same way towards their friends. And to this day, as a grown adult, they behave this way towards their own spouse. They're going to behave this same way towards their own kid. And a parent that forcefully controls her own kid is a very insecure person. And I'm going to tell you why. They're insecure because some parents control their kids to a point where they do not want them to be successful. They're going to control and manipulate them to not live up to their own potential, which is toxic as fuck. Me as a human being, I want my kids to do better and to be greater than me, and that's exactly how I'm going to raise them. Controlling parents also control their kids because they don't want them to be successful. They don't want them to get up and to go on to bigger and better things and end up leaving them or not spending time with them. They want them to live the same life they live. They want them to live in the same neighborhood, to do the same things, to stay right there, just where they're at, stuck and miserable as fuck. That's what they want. They do this out of fear. They do this because, like I just said, they don't want to lose their kids because they're selfish. They want them in their life for their own gain, their own selfish and self-centered gain. Most parents will say they want the best for their own kids, but do they really mean that? Do they really mean that? I think not. I think not. And true colors will show if this kid gets up and goes on to do bigger and better things, even if their own parents didn't want them to. Their own parents, their true colors will show and will shine through. Their jealousy will seep out. Their envy will seep out. In due time. It will happen. That's why it's just funny to me whenever you see most parents. Almost no parents will say they don't want to see the best for their own kids. You're not going to hear parents not say that. They're all going to say that, but do they really mean it? That's what I'm saying here. Do they really mean it? A lot don't. Some do, and there are some amazing, amazing parents out there. There really are. But there's a lot of not so amazing parents out there that, out of fear, they do these toxic things, and they could literally ruin their kids' lives and their kids' futures. And their own kids will grow up being toxic. They'll live a miserable ass life. They'll live a life way below what they could have. And just understand, if this is you and you have controlling parents, toxic parents, or you have had controlling parents, understand that it is so possible for you to break out of that. Even if you had the controlling parents and you're a little bit older now, you can still go on to do great things with your life. You just have to focus. You have to really want it a lot more than just about anything else. You have to want it more than you want to party. You have to want it more than you want to chill with your friends on the weekend. You have to want it more than these things. If that's the case, you will get it. And if you have controlling parents right now and they're holding you back, they're doing you dirty, they almost give you nothing. They're literally flushing negativity into your life. They are filling you up with fear and anxiety and doubt and panic and worry and all these terrible emotions nobody wants to feel, to the point where you're getting depressed because your upbringing is so horrible. Just know that you will be able to fight through this if you do see that light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to be able to fight through this if you know there's bigger and better things in store for you in your future. You're not going to be with them forever. You're not going to hear their bullshit forever. The best thing to do during these times is listen to things like this. Listen to different content out there, different YouTubers. Listen, but nothing to positivity. Listen to nothing besides what's going to help you in your future and what gives you clarity and puts you at ease right now. It gives you that warm feeling on the inside that what you are listening to right now is the right thing and the right advice. Because most parents are not going to tell you things that I'm telling you right now, and that's just the truth. Only the best of the best parents out there are going to have this type of knowledge. And that is parents that went and done great things with their own life. They want to see you do great things with your life as well. Great parents want to see you do better than they did. Great parents want to teach you what they were not taught at a younger age. This is just how it goes. And parents that fucked around with their own life, messed up their own lives, live in fear themselves, live a miserable ass life themselves, they're going to project all of this bullshit onto you, all this toxicity onto you. They want you to feel that. Why? Because they feel like that. They don't want you to go on and do bigger and better and better things and greater things and live a happier life with more peace and prosperity and abundance and more money and more of this and more of that and better friendships, better relationships, better connections, better people. All of these things. We all want more of these things. We are all capable of getting more of these things. I didn't have a perfect upbringing. And I ain't throwing no names under the bus. I ain't gonna do all these things. Not just in the household that I grew up in. Schools I went to. People I was surrounded by in schools. Teachers I had were toxic. All these things played a factor in my upbringing. And I always seen past anything that ever came my way that was negative. In my own head, I always knew I was going to do great things with my life. I always knew this. I always seen past all these things that people were telling me. And I didn't listen to a damn word what anybody was saying, because at a very young age, I felt the greatness within myself. And we are all capable of feeling that greatness within ourselves, but it's in a different, unique way. I felt gifted at such a young age. And I took a hell of a lot of abuse in my younger days. From a very young age. I had a lot of abuse up until the point where I could isolate myself from things I didn't want to be around. And it took a while for me to make that happen. And all you have to do is make that happen. All you have to do is work. Work your ass off. Get a place by yourself if you have to do it. Because it's going to be hard to even live with one other person that's on the same page as you if you want the bigger and better things in life. You could be living with somebody that's also toxic. This is what I can't have happen to me, and I ain't gonna let this happen to me. That's why I live today an independent life. I don't need nobody. I'm by myself. Do I plan on living by myself forever? Hell no. I would never do that bullshit. Just for extended periods of time, guys. It's what you have to do to get your shit together. To get yourself where you need to be. For better things to line up in the future. You can't have better things lining up in the future if you're always stuck around bullshit toxic people that are weighing you down and holding you down. And a lot of this comes from the title of this video, controlling parents. It happens to a lot of people. A lot of people are brought up like this. I know so many people that have dealt and are dealing with this situation. A lot of people I talk to over the phone are dealing with this situation. It is not fun to deal with. I know what this is all about. I know every angle to these situations. And that's why I'm so good at explaining all this stuff. I've been there. I've done it. I got myself out of those situations. I climbed those mountains. And it's not fun doing it. It's not fun at all. It's a very hard process. Every day is a fight. But if you're willing to put up that fight, you will get out of those situations. And like I mentioned, these controlling ass parents that put this bullshit on you are living in fear themselves. They don't really want the best for you. They don't really want the best for you. If they did, they would hear you out. They're not even hearing you out, are they? They're not even listening to a damn word you're saying about your future and your own thoughts and your own ideas. Because they probably don't matter to these controlling parents. Because whatever you say is wrong in their eyes. Or whatever you say, they just flip the script and place their own thoughts on you. They want you to do what they want you to do. Even though they're not even successful. They're not even happy. They're not nearly as happy as they could be. They're probably not even healthy. They're probably not even fit. They're probably not even fit in mind, body, and soul. Yet they're placing all this bullshit onto you. And you can't tell them none of this. Why? Because it would probably just offend them and upset them. Because that's all they are. Is a fucking mess. They're upset every single way you can think of. Their emotions are all fucked. They can't talk anything. They can't talk real talk. You can't tell them a damn thing. And they live in this delusional state of mind. And when they place their own sick, twisted, disgusting, toxic thoughts onto you, it rubs off on you. It can ruin your life. You have to see this shit for what it is and get past that. You have to see past them. And if you're going to be in their life at all, it has to be from a distance. You know what? I love you. We had good times in life, but stay the hell away from me. We have to keep distance here. You're nothing but toxic to me. You're nothing but toxic to the progress I'm making in my own life. That's how it's got to be. We have to keep a distance. So I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do. And you can just sit back and shut up. Basically how it has to be. But anyways, I got my points I need to get across in this video. If you have to re-watch it, do so. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video, guys. Until next time, I am out.